Can you still sell products in 2019? Maybe it's these little finger guys. Maybe it's little basketballs, fishing lures, anything. I actually sell none of those. But can you still sell products in 2019? Is Shopify dropshipping officially saturated? Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video. And in this one, we're gonna be talking about the official topic. I'm gonna dive fully in depth for you on the craziest stuff of is Shopify dropshipping saturated? Is any form of e-commerce saturated? It's not even more so the Shopify dropshipping model or platform. It's more so the marketing avenues and the individual products being sold, right? Shopify can't particularly be saturated. It would be the products people are selling and or the audience that they are marketing to. Because if there's an audience of 1 million people, but there's only one person marketing to it versus 10 million people with 200 people marketing to it, well, the bigger audience is more saturated. So in reality, that smaller audience with the one person, that person is gonna find more success. So before we get into that, you guys, it is the very, very last day, the official last day ever to be getting in. We dropped the price back down from the $25 a day increase over the last 4 days to the original launch price on the 28th of last year, I guess in December. We're doing the craziest bundle deal ever. The original HSD program that we've offered, the one that has created hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of individual successful students and over half a dozen millionaires, boom, brought it here. The newer program, which is just a high-level Facebook ad program with 3 extra guests that we flew in just for their individual topics and their 7-figure skill set, boom, brought it here. We're also gonna be giving you guys a 1-hour consulting call with my personal e-commerce team, boom, bring it here. We're gonna be going ahead and we're gonna be taking not 1, but 2 winning products every single month, putting them here. And I'm not just showing you 2 products like, hey, a wallet or hey, a phone case. It's not just 2 random products. It's gonna be the Facebook targeting that goes into that, the Instagram influencers, supplier, price points, ad copy examples, everything you need. We're gonna be giving you so much live streams every month. You're getting access to not 1, but 2 groups. All of this put together right now. You're gonna be able to hit the link down below and get that for just $5.99. Okay, I blew through $5,000 when I was first starting e-commerce, $4,700 to be specific. Some of you might know that story. On everything. None of that would have been wasted if I had access to this or even a fraction of this. It's all about knowing not only exactly what to do, but where to spend your money, where to change what you're doing, and how to react to that, especially with the financial burden of having a small amount of money if that's your situation. Because I see a lot of people go out there who have a big budget and they feel like they can figure it out on their own. And with enough time, enough money, and enough headache, you can, but that just does not make the most logical sense. So this is the craziest thing ever. I would definitely love to help you guys out on a more one-on-one basis throughout 2019 because the stuff we're doing from a teaching perspective, from a student perspective, is unlike anything else that anyone can offer. I know I mentioned it in another video not too long ago, but about my personal e-commerce team. So this is actually who you're gonna be getting on the phone with one-on-one. These are people I actually have living in one of my 2 houses. I have 2 houses with people in 2 different states, among other properties, where I have people living there just for e-commerce. So they're managing my stores, they're helping with the marketing, advertising end of it, Facebook ads. I've trained these people, and what they're gonna be doing, I'm kind of making them do this, is get on a 1-hour call with each and every one of you who goes ahead and gets inside of this bundle deal test group, because it's the craziest thing ever, and I wanna make sure that you guys are getting an abundant amount of value when it comes to getting this direct help. Because I don't want you to just get lost as you go through some videos. There's a lot more to it than just videos. It's all laid out in a specific order, downloadable PDFs, interactive things. That's gonna help you so much. So if you've ever thought about getting into e-commerce, maybe you're already in e-commerce, but you're not really seeing success, or maybe you're seeing what you consider massive success, but you wanna scale. You know deep down, even if you're making $100,000 a month right now, you can scale. Samir is someone who came to me in person already making $2,500 a day. That's 80,000, in the last 30 days is the numbers he did. I'll insert a clip here in a second. Literally the very next day, and he thought he was doing well. He was, that's a good number. But the very next day, he came literally to my place from noon to 6. After that, the very next day, he made $7,000. Now he's doing $35,000 a week. Okay, that's 140 grand a month, a double, okay? And he's continuing to scale from that, it's just going up. So really, no matter where you're at right now, you can still scale. You know there's potential. We're gonna be breaking down every single little sliver of that. Let me insert that video of Samir real quick for you. It's not gonna be very long, you guys can check it out, and then we're gonna get into today's topic.
Hey guys, before I start, I want to give a big thanks to Hayden because the value he puts in his courses and in his YouTube channel has had such a great impact on my business. Now, I found out about Hayden through my cousin Khalid, who was, he got Hayden's E-commerce Master 2.0 course, and he was kind enough to give me access to it. So me and him, we bounced ideas off each other's heads, and with what I learned, I started hitting $500 to $1,000 a day. All right. Now, after my ads started to optimize, it started hitting $2,000 to $3,000. But even after hitting $2,000, $3,000 a day, I still wanted to scale higher. I wanted to start hitting $10K a day. That's one of my goals. So I met up with Hayden and Harry in person, and, just for a couple of hours, and they had a look at my ad account, had a look at my store. They showed me what apps to use, and they also showed me how to break down and scale my ads in the best way possible. And using their methods, it had almost immediate results. So this was the day that I met them, okay? December 13th, all right? Now, if you look at literally the day after, boom, already hitting $6,000 to $7,000 a day. Now, that's just utilizing what they learned. Now, with what I learned, I actually managed to hit my goal for the month early. Now, I was shooting for 80K for this month. Now, it's only the 27th, and I've already hit 100K.
All right, so you can see right there, Samir just absolutely crushed it. There's so much going on there and just scaling his stuff heavily. He actually originally, him and his cousin, got inside of our program. That's how they started their store. That's the exact blueprint they followed. They went through that step by step, started building up to the revenue point they're at, which, well, I mean, $2,500 a day is not bad. And then, I was able to directly help him scale, which is what the 2.0 program is gonna be doing for you. Again, you're getting access to both of those right now. Just hit the link down below. It's gonna open it in a new tab, I believe. You're gonna be able to check out the video on there and all the information down below. So definitely go ahead, do that right now because it's the last day, very last chance. Hit that right now. If it's not letting you in, then I'm sorry. The test group is closed down. We've never offered this before. And unless it goes extremely well, we're not gonna offer it again for a very, very long time, until probably the middle of the year. So go ahead, hit the link down below, check it out, and then let's talk about, is it saturated, okay? Let's talk about it. All right, so I have some props for this video, which is why I threw them at you in the beginning. Sorry if that hurt, but the reason that I wanna bring these in, this is just a random ball that came with a little basketball game I got, but this is really interesting, okay? Let's take it right now. I don't know these numbers right now, but I'm gonna throw them up on the screen. I don't know how big the fishing audience is. You do right now because I'm gonna throw up a screenshot. You could go ahead and target interest if you're selling a lure or any sort of fishing products like this, right? You put this at the end of your string on your pole, your line, sorry for you fishermen. You go ahead, if you could target things like fishing, Bass Pro Shops. There's a bunch of different interests around there and you gotta look at the size. Now, out of that, you wanna be able to identify how many people are selling in it. Now, long story short, there's no exact way to know 100% of who is selling inside of an audience and how many individual people there are. But what you can go ahead and do is you can try a bunch of the top selling products. And when you're following our strategy inside the programs, don't worry, we break all this down on picking products, running your ads, building data, literally what buttons to press. Yeah, we have a video called that. So going through and showing you every single little thing, you gotta think about it. If there's 100 million people, just as an example for easy math in here, except there's 100 people in there, which there's gonna be tens of thousands, but let's just say there's 100 million and 100 people in there, okay? Now, if the NBA is, let's just say 75, actually it's probably more than fishing, but just for easy math, 75 million, but there's only 10 people, right? There's only 10 people selling in there. There's a bigger market for you to take a chunk of. Now, this is something to think about because there's two sides to it. You might want to start in a smaller audience because then when you move up to the 100 million, for this example, let's just say these related, right? This is a basketball and this is a basketball shoe, whatever. If these related, then you would want to move up because there's an overall bigger audience, even though there's more people selling in there. Here's what saturation really means. I feel like people have the wrong perspective of what that actually is. Saturation is not Shopify, is not dropshipping, is not AliExpress. The saturated thing isn't even fully the product. It's the size of the audience. So if the audience is being tapped into too much, if there's only 10 million people in fishing and everybody's trying to sell this lure, but every single person's already seen it 100 times and they don't want it, then guess what that's gonna mean? What's gonna happen? They're not gonna be buying it. So you might say, oh, this product doesn't work, or this audience is dead, or I should switch my niche. When in reality, it's the offer you are presenting to them. So the key thing, even if you wanna sell a product that's already being sold, is understanding how to undercut your customer, be better at the marketing, which can be difficult at times if they have a lot of data, but undercutting them in certain ways, building a better looking store, having a better ad, and convert better, get a higher ROAS than them, which is just a game of numbers at that point, aside from the branding, which don't worry, we show you how to set all of that up. There's so many ways that you can go ahead and kind of start pulling traffic from audiences that might be viewed as saturated. Now, a better word for this would actually be competitive. So something can be competitive. However, if there's a lot of people inside of something, you know what that means, right? A lot of people view it as a bad thing. But guess what? If there's a bunch of people competing for the same thing, typically that means it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing because that thing that everybody's competing for has potential. Whether it's a bunch of guys competing for the same girl, that person might be viewed as the best girl, right? Or if a bunch of people are marketing to the same audience or they're selling the same product, nobody's doing that randomly, okay? There's money being made there. So typically, you're not gonna be the first one into a new industry, a new audience, a new niche, a new product. So you kinda, not always, but should go where other things are already moving. I like to capitalize upon things, scale it even bigger, and take advantage of the audience gap that is not being tapped into. I know I can market better than most people. Not everyone. I know I can set things up better than most people. Not everyone, but I know I can take a very, very good portion of what I want to get out of a certain product or an audience. So what you're gonna be seeing into 2019 is gonna be a very interesting series of events, because in 2020 is when all these data regulations with Facebook, when Mark Zuckerberg went in front of, I believe it was Congress, but in front of some very important meetings, getting in trouble with data usage, like they're gonna be pulling back certain things on Facebook so that we can't target as in depth. There's gonna be a lot of that coming in 2020. So what's gonna happen in 2019, this is gonna be both a good and bad thing. There's gonna be a lot of scare tactics. So probably some more articles are gonna pop up. I don't doubt it. More media coverage around this business model. I don't doubt it. It's fine. You're still gonna be able to make sales. What you're gonna see happen is a lot less people like you who might be watching this video right now, are not gonna start. And the reason for that is they might not see it as a long-term thing, or they think it's dead, okay? They think it's dead. So this is where you have an advantage, because then that's less people coming in to like compete with, right? Even though the audience is still there. So if they're not gonna start, that doesn't mean you have competition. That has nothing to do with the audience size. You can definitely still go pull more customers. You're basically making it easier for yourself. So 2019, we're gonna see a lot of sales channels like Facebook ads, Instagram influencers are not gonna go away. They might not get bigger, right? The actual audiences on there will expand. More people are gonna join both those platforms. But the things that work from a marketing perspective for us are gonna get a little bit smaller. And so it's fine, you just have to go more narrow with it, and you're gonna have to scale. So instead of doing a bunch of broader stuff, it might have to be a couple more specific strategies, and you're just gonna have to take advantage of that more. I don't view that as a problem at all. That's what's happened with Facebook consistently. That's what's happened with Instagram consistently. Guess what? I'm still here. People said I was gonna go broke when I dropped out of school. Hayden, you're stupid. When I moved out, or actually when I bought my car, Hayden, you're stupid. When I moved out to LA, Hayden, you're stupid. Traveling the world, Hayden, you're stupid. You're gonna run out of money and be stuck in some foreign country. I'm still here. There's still more money than ever being made, and more money than ever flowing into my bank account. So it's one of those things, like, just straight up, e-commerce has a massive, massive audience, and depending on what product you want to sell, which is where that whole saturation thing comes in, that's the topic you should be considered. You more so should not be asking, is e-commerce or is Shopify or is dropshipping saturated? It's, is this product saturated? Is this audience saturated? Ask those questions. And what we're gonna be doing inside of the programs, especially with the one-on-one help, is showing you which things are not, which things are working, and how to identify that on your own. I don't wanna just like give it to you or do it for you. I want you to know how to do it so you can go duplicate it. At the end of the day, you're building a skill. You wanna be able to make money with it long term, am I right? So you gotta build that, you gotta put in the work, you just gotta do it. It's repetition. I show you exactly how I do it. I show you like 10 different ways of how I do it, just in case you don't resonate with one. There's a bunch of different examples, live examples, screenshots, again, PDFs, all these demonstrations and so many presentations inside of my computer, literally letting you look over my shoulder as I run ads. As I show you, again, there's a video called What Buttons to Press. So Facebook seems confusing. If that doesn't dumb it down, I don't know what does. So just keep all of that in mind. I mean, e-commerce is one of the biggest growing industries. Retail is dying. Like retail, which has been around for like hundreds of years, is dying. I mean, technically centuries, but the online part of things is starting to crush regular businesses. Like massive Fortune 500 companies and billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar companies and brands are going out of business. I mean, sometimes fully, but on the retail side of things, because the online e-commerce, I mean, commerce is the buying and trading of goods, the buying, selling, and trading. E-commerce is just the online version of that, similar to email versus mail, right? So at least go ahead, grab your laptop. If you don't even have a laptop, maybe get one, go to the library, use a free computer, use your parents, your brothers, whatever. Figure out your situation, because I know everyone's starting from a different point, and start taking action. The best place if you want to actually get things going would be inside of this bundle deal test group. I promise you that. If you don't like it, I'm gonna make sure that you like it by helping you even further. So all you gotta do is hit the link down below. This is the very last day that you guys can get access to that. 2019 is gonna be insane. Even if you decide not to join this test group with what we're doing, that's totally fine. I wish you the best. I hope you stay subscribed to the channel. I hope you check back in with the videos. If you have questions or if something seems interesting or if you think you can learn something, definitely take advantage of this as a free resource. But just understand there's a lot more stuff that goes way more in depth that you need, and you can figure it out on your own. I'll be the first to tell you that. You can figure it out on your own. It's just gonna take you probably literally years of time, and I'm not even joking when I say this, tens of thousands of dollars. I've spent a lot of money in ads testing to figure all this stuff out, even when learning directly. So we break it down as step by step as possible, just showing you front to back, start to finish on what we do. You're literally looking over my shoulder into my computer as I set up the whole thing like 10 times over. So if that doesn't make it as foolproof as possible, I don't know what does. Just go ahead, hit the link down below, watch the video, read through some of the information and see what other people have to say. And with that being said, you guys, I'll be seeing you over on that page and also tomorrow in the next video. Peace.